Hello everyone, welcome back to our Asifmatics, and today our topic is complete factorization. This is also a part of polynomial. So here in case of complete factorization you will have two cases. So we can see that complete factorization you can have two cases, that is case 1 when you know one factor, that means first factor is given, then you have to find out rest of the factors. Or in case 2 you have no factor is given, that means you do not have any factor, only the polynomial will be there, so we need to find out this one. So let's see the first case where we have one factor is given. So if you have case 1, that is first factor is given, in that case we can solve the problem by two different ways. We can solve it in two ways. The first one is by equating coefficient, and the second is by using long division. So let's see, I will show you both the ways, and long division you already know, so you can solve in any way whatever you like. Okay, so your question will be like this, that in exam, in your A-level exam you will have a question. So let's see, we have example question. Given that x minus 2 is a factor of polynomial px equals to 2x cube plus 7x square minus 43x plus 42. So the question says factorize completely. That means you already know one factor, which is x minus 2. We need to find out other factors because it's a x cube polynomial. So we must have another two factors. So that other two factors we need to find out. So we will first do the equating coefficient method to solve the this factorization case. So here what do you know, because we already know one factor, so what we do, we will write like this, that you write the polynomial here. So you will write 2x cube plus 7x square minus 43x plus 42. Then we just put equals to and write the first factor, what you know, x minus 2 is the first factor, you write it here. Then look at the the power, remaining power, what we have. So here our main power x cube is 3, right? But we have 1 already have taken, that means x to the power 1. So the remaining power here is x square. That means the next function should be the quadratic function. So we will write here ax square plus bx plus c. ABC is some constant that we need to find out. So how do you do that? Okay, again, look at, first you write your first factor, which is x minus 2, and then you check your, the polynomial, the maximum power, which is x cube, and that x cube must be, the first factor already we have taken x to the power 1, that means another x to the power 2, which is x square we need to take, and that x square means this is our quadratic curve. So how we can proceed with that? Look at this one. We call this is a remaining power. This is the remaining power, okay? remaining power. So how do you do that? In case if you have your remaining power is 1, if you see that your remaining power is 1, that means here if it is 1, then we will write ax plus b as the, like the what we are writing here for the complete factorization. For the second factor, you will write it as a ax plus b as a second factor. If your remaining power equals to 2, that means it is a quadratic function, so you must write your second factor as ax square plus bx plus c. And if your remaining power equals to 3, then we should write ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. So this way we need to put our second factor. Now we need to equate, because our target is to find out a, b, c. So once you equate, first you will take the maximum power. Okay, we can do like that: maximum power then we will take the constant, and then we will take the middle power. I can write it here. We will go for the middle power. So how do we equate these three? First, let's see the maximum power. So here we have this maximum power, which is 2x cube. This is our maximum power. And if you multiply ax square, this one, with x, you can get your maximum power. So these two can be equated. So we can write here is 2x cube equals to ax cube, right? So this ax square times x is actually ax cube. Okay, so we need to equate the equal power from both sides. So here we can write x cube, we can cancel out, and we can write a equals to 2. So you got your a value. Now let's go to the constant. So what is your constant? The constant here is 42. So constant, we can see that the constant here is 42, and that has to be equate with this 2 times c, right? You can get your constant value, because c and 2, there is no, if you multiply this 2, there will be no x or x square. So if we can equate this one, we can write constant value is 42 equals to minus 2c. Okay, so from here we can write our c value is 42 by 2 minus, so which is minus 21. So we can get c equals to minus 21. Then the third, middle power. So middle power, in case of middle power, you can choose your way. This is your choice. You will take x square or you will take x. Okay, so when you calculate middle power, this is your choice. This is your choice. You can choose any, like x square you can equate, or x you can equate. So let's say we equate x square. So in that case, what we can get it here, that we have 7x square on the left side. So we can write, so this is 7x squared. So we can write 7x squared. And if we equate on the right side, then we can get x times, so we can get like that, x times bx, we can get bx square. So we can write here bx square, then minus 2 times ax square, this one, we can write minus 2ax square, and I don't think there is any other thing. So we have this 2. So here we can equate the equation 7 equals to b minus 2a. So you see we already have a value which is 2. So we can write 7 equals to b minus 2 times 2. So our b value will be, this is minus 4, so it comes on the left side, so b will be 11. So we got all a, b and c values. So our factor for this one will be x minus 2 is our already one factor is there, and the second factor, the quadratic factor, will be ax square, that means 2x square plus bx, so b is 11, so that will be plus 11x, and c minus 21, so minus 21. So this is the factorized, but still it is not finished because we need to do it complete factorization. But the good thing is we already got the quadratic function here. So this is our quadratic function. Now you know how to solve the quadratic function and how to do the factorization for quadratic. So we can write x minus 2 here, leave it here, and do the quadratic function. So this quadratic function, you can now apply your knowledge of your O level or AS level. So you can write here like 2x square. So it's 11x, and 21 times 2 is 42. So we can write here is plus 14x minus 3x minus 21, or we can write this one as 2x if we take common. So we can get x plus 7 minus 3. So it will be x plus 7. So this will be 2x minus 3 and x plus 7. So finally we have our result, complete factorization. So the complete factors for this polynomial will be x minus 2, 2x minus 3 and x plus 7. So the problem solved. So this is the the coefficient equating system. I come back once again. What you do, first of all, just you write the polynomial and write this your first write the polynomial and then you write the first factor because your first factor is known, and then look at the power of the first factor. The first factor power x power is 1, and your maximum power on left side, the maximum power here, which is 2. So this is 2, sorry, this is 3. So what you have to do, you have remaining power is 2. So if remaining power is 2, that means the rest of the factor will be quadratic function. So you just write quadratic function, general quadratic function of ax square plus bx plus c, this one. Once you have this one, after that you just equate the coefficient of this. First of all, my tips is you will go for the maximum power, then you go for the constant value so that you can directly get the values. This is the tips, you can do anyway, but this is the thing. If you solve like this, you can straightway get the values like a and c value you can get directly. And after that you go for the middle power, and middle power is your choice. You can take x square or you can take x, and you can get your values. And once you have this ABC value, that means you got your quadratic function. And if you have the quadratic function, you know how to solve the factor from there. So it is x cube curve. We can finally get our result like this. Now the same problem you can solve in different way by using the long division. That is another way of doing that one. So we know the long division. I will show you how to do that. So this part will be the same, okay? In long division, we can see how to get the quadratic function. So our factor is x minus 2. So that will be our divisor. So I will show you the long division process here. Long division. So long division, we already know how to do that. So we will write our factor first, x minus 2, and then we will write the polynomial, which is 2x cube plus 7x square minus 43x plus 42. So I already told you how to do the long division. So inner first term divided by outer first term. I hope that you already know this. So this is inner first term and outer first term. So first case we can get 2x cube by x. That will be 2x square. So our first quotient will be 2x square. And then this was 2x cube. So then we need to multiply this quotient with divisor. So we will have 2x cube minus 4x square. Write the line, then change the sign, minus and plus, this out. 7 plus 4, that will be 11x square minus 43x plus 42. So again the same thing, we will repeat inner first term divided by outer first term. So our inner first term now 11x square. We have inner first term 11x square and outer first term x. So we can write here is 11x square by x. That will be 11x. So, yep. So that will be 11x. So we can write here, we can write our second term as plus 11x. Multiply this one with whole divisor, we can get 11x square minus 22x, and then just put sign here, change the sign, this is out. We can get minus 43, 22, so that will be minus 21x plus 42. And then the third repeat, we have minus 21x, inner first term and outer first term is x. So minus 21, right here minus 21, and then you multiply again for your minus 21 with whole term. So that will be your minus 21x plus 42. And of course, if you change the sign, we have no remainder. So it's a complete division. And look at this one. We already got our quotient. This is our quotient. This is our quotient. So we got our complete, the factorization, like x minus 2 is one factor, and quotient we already got. So that is our quadratic factor, 2x square plus 11x minus 21. So this is the same like the previous one, what we have done, this one. We already got our quadratic function. So as you have the quadratic function, now you know how to do that. Follow this step, this same step, and you can get the final result of what you got before, that is x minus 2, then 2x minus 3, and finally you can get x plus 4. So this part is same. This part is same as before. But this is completely your choice. You can do the long division. If somebody feels that you are very good in doing long division, you go like that. And if you feel that no, I am not confident of long division, you can do the coefficient equating method. So both method is okay. Your A level will not ask that which method you are going to use. So you can use whatever you like. The main thing is you need to bring the quadratic function or the second factor, and then you can solve the rest of the part. Now there is another thing, that if there is no factor is given, so first factor is not given, in that case what we will do? So if there is no first factor is given, no first factor, so in that case how to solve? Because if no first factor, that means you cannot use the coefficient equating method or long division, because for long division you need at least one factor. So how to solve it? So in this case, remember, first you have to follow this procedure. So the first, find all factors of last constant. I'll show you the example. Then number 2, put one by one factor value to polynomial, that is p of x. And then you need to write, okay, now you need to give, so the value, the one, give the value 0 of the polynomial of the px will be the factor. What does it mean? Okay, let's see one example, then the concept will be more clear. So we have polynomial like px equals to 2x cube minus x square plus x minus 2. This is one polynomial, and the question says factorize completely. So no first factor or any factor is given, just simply said factorize completely. This is our another example. So according to our process, number 1, find all factors of the last constant. So all factors of last constant means we have only one constant most of the cases. So we just take the value of this constant. This is the constant, okay, 2. So then put one by one factor value, and we need to find out all the factors of 2. So we take the constant and we need to find factors of 2. So what is the factors of 2? 2 has 2 factors, that is 1 and 2. So, or we can write plus minus 1 and plus minus 2. These are the factors for 2. Now this is a kind of trial and error method that you need to put one by one. So let's see, if we put x equals to minus 1. If we put x equals to minus 1, then what happened? I mean, we have 4 factors of 2, plus minus 1 and plus minus 2. Let's put x equals to minus 1. So we can write our p minus 1 will be 2 minus 1 cube minus 1 square plus minus 1 minus 2. So here we can get this will be minus 2, this will be minus 1, minus 1, minus 2. So the result will be minus 6. So our target is the result should be 0. So this is minus 6. So we can write this is not a factor. This is not a factor. This is not factor. Okay. Once you put minus 2, so this process number 2, put one by one factor value to px. So we put minus 1, it is not a factor. Now choose another value like plus 1. So let's see what happened if x equals to plus 1. So put x equals to 1. So what you can write, p of 1 equals to 2, 1 cube minus 1 square plus 1 minus 2. So here this will be 2 minus 1 plus 1 minus 2. So you can get the result 0. That was the target. The 1 give you the value 0 of the polynomial will be the factor. That means this x equals to 1 is the factor. Okay. So P of 1, this one is given, so that is the factor. So what we can write? The x equals to 1 gives you the factor. So x equals to 1 gives 0 value in P of x. So x minus 1 is a factor. Understood? So we got our first factor. So once we got our first factor, the rest of the part is, you have to follow the previous steps because we already got the first factor. So once you have this one as the first factor, now use either long division or equating coefficient. Okay, so this rest of the part is same as before what you have done for if you have one factor what to do. So similar thing you have to do for this. All right, so this is the same thing. Now you have x minus 1, so we can get like x minus 1. So our polynomial what we had 2x cube minus x square, so we can write it here 2x cube minus x square plus x minus 2 equals to, now x minus 1 we have, so look at the remaining power, we have the maximum power is 3 and we took 1, so the remaining power will be x square, so we need to write ax square plus bx plus c. Now you just equate this method, you can equate this one and you can get your result. Okay, so rest of the part is same as before. I hope you can solve this one and you understand. So all the problem for your complete factorization is exactly the same like this. So let's just review a minute that complete factorization case we can have polynomial and there will be two situations. Number one situation, one factor is given and they will ask for the complete factorization. In that case you can use that factor and do the long division to find out the remaining factor, and once you have the remaining factor, if it is a quadratic function, you know how to solve the quadratic function to get the factor. And the second situation that there is no factor is given, you just, the polynomial is there and they will ask you to factorize completely. In that case you just go for this case, like take the constant and find the constant, the factors of that constant, and use the value one by one, okay, like a trial case, and the value, just put the value in the polynomial, in this polynomial, and the value whatever give you the 0 value of that polynomial, that one will be the factor. That means you got the first factor. So always our target to get the first factor, because if we get the first factor, we know how to solve it. We can go for the long division or we can do the equating coefficient. So I hope you understood this one, and in our next class, in the next lecture, we will solve some problems of polynomials and then we will finish this chapter. Thank you very much.